That's a good girl. Hey, where are you going? Are you shy? You gonna just disappoint everybody on the YouTube channel? What's going on? That's funny. Okay, that's my shop dog, Stella. And whenever I get the camera out, she becomes camera shy. She's usually very loving. I don't have the camera on. And what are we doing? We're working on this little blue bug. It's an Isetta. I think I told you I was having some Dynastart woes. I got that figured out. So the engine is all back together now. I was just reassembling it. And let me give you a good view of what's going on. This is what I look like when I'm working on something. I got my headlight, I got my gloves, and I got my shorty coveralls on today because it's hot and muggy. So there you go. If you're interested in seeing who's behind the camera, that's what I look like. So we've got the cooling air duct shroud, which goes like this on the motor. Lines up those holes, and it draws in cool air from the engine cover, which is here, which has vents on it. So it draws in cold air through this fan. The fan rotates and pumps the air up and over and across the cylinder and then exhausts on the other side. That is how this engine stays cool. This is very similar to a BMW bike engine, but on a bike you have a lot of open air that blows across the fins naturally. I don't think they have a fan. And this would be for a single cylinder bike engine. The cars are 13 horsepower, smaller carburetor, and the bikes I think are 15. Everything else is the same as far as I'm aware. Anyhow, we're going to put this back together, and I promised you a ride in this little blue basket of fun. However, the ignition switch is really acting up, and it just bouncing along, it can flick back and forth between start and run, and I do not want it to go into the start position while I'm driving. I don't know what'll happen to the Dynastart, but I don't want to burn it up. So that switch is coming out. I'm going to see if I can repair it. If not, I got to replace it. And if I have to replace it, it might be a little bit till we get a ride. So I'm tidying up all the wires in here, getting ready to put the seat back in it, and then I'm going to dive into that and some brakes. So let's see what we get done today. Hang tight. Such a cute little car. These things just make me smile. Look at that racing stripe cleavage thing it's got on the front there. White wall tires with baby blue rims. Bucket headlights. Racing stripe down the side. This thing's a race car. Well, not really, but it's beautiful. It reminds me of a race car. Such a cool little car. Let's get to work. Quit admiring this thing. Let's get to work. Okay, so we're working on our little blue Isetta, and I've got the ignition switch out of the hole here, and I just realized this is not an authentic Isetta ignition switch. This is just a general universal hot rod or old car ignition switch. So I'm not even going to take it apart for 20 bucks or whatever these things cost. I did not know this car had, I should have figured, because this nut is sort of a dead giveaway. That's the nut, the locking nut. The Isetta ones have kind of a fluted round. They're very slim. So somebody's replaced this ignition switch, and I think I'm just going to get a new one. So let's order one of those up, and then let's work on the back here. We got to get this thing running and driving. It needs to be enjoyed. This wheel cylinder has been weeping a little bit, so I've been cleaning up around here. I'm going to take it for a drive and see if it still continues to leak. I think it's just been weeping because the car has sat for so long. So I'm hoping that's the case. So I'm going to put this thing up in the rack and just check the brakes one more time and just wipe everything down. It's sort of a blessing that everything is white and blue, but if you spill brake fluid on painted surfaces, you know what happens there. That's bad news. Let's keep going. All right, well that didn't take long. I got a new standard ignition universal switch, and it looks very similar, and it actually has the correct knurled cover that the Isetta one should have, not this. Should be this knurled kind. That's more correct. So let's see if I can swap this out and see how she starts and drives. Okay, so we've got our ignition switch in our new Isetta. It snaps back real nice. It's got real good what do you call the indentation, or it just feels really nice. I'm glad that fit. That is going to work out great. You can see there's a little bit of a gas leak under here. That means I've got the gas valve on. Yes, I do. I said as a gravity feed, and if you leave the gas on, forget to leave the gas on there, it will overflow the carburetor and drip down a little bit. So I don't think I've driven this car yet. I don't think I have. It was never in good enough running condition. So I'm just going to drive it around the parking lot here a little bit and just see if it's roadworthy, because I'm not sure. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start it up, and let's try out our new ignition switch. Let's see here. Battery's hooked up. Switch should be good. Choke, it should be kind of flooded because I left the gas on. So we've got a red light on there, and that's signaling that our ignition is on. And we're going to turn the key. It is out of gear. We don't have any cigarettes in our ashtray. That's one thing you should always check, right? Let's see. Almost started. And give it a little gas to my foot. Okay, and it snaps back just like it should. So our light is on a little bit, and let's see if we rev it up here. Yes, that means it's charging. Now, as long as the engine RPM is above 1200, that light will be off and it will charge. So let's get in this thing. This car is so different. The seat is so cushy. I'm going to pull the steering wheel. Whoa. Why does the door feel like it's jammed here? Something feels like it's sticking. Hold on. I've got to check this shock. Something in here jammed. Oh, I think one of my wires is jammed on the shock. I got to fix that. So with Isettas, they're very precision machines. This is the ultimate driving machine. I had my speedometer bracket. I rotated that so it wouldn't interfere with the ignition switch, but it was hitting the door shock, and I could feel the door didn't want to close. I didn't want to just pull the door closed. It just goes to show you how much stuff is just packed in tight little areas. This is the whole dash. Got all the wires packed in there. Have to have the ignition switch rotated just right so it doesn't short out on anything. Have to have the speedometer bracket just right so it allows the door to close. You got to have the fuse panel have enough access so you don't blow fuses just vibrating around. The speedometer cable runs in there, everything, the headlight switch. There's a lot of stuff going on in the dash when I set up. But I think, yeah, the door will close now. And let's see what happens. We try to take it for a drive. Take off my headlight. Don't need that. Pull this down gently. Yes, that feels better. Now we can actually lock the door. That's good. Slide over here to the driver's seat. Put my foot near the clutch. I got my key. Turn it on. We got a red light. Let's see. Fires up. Yes, fired up. Snaps back real nice. I like that. Take our brake off. Where's our brake? Down here. We've got our shift pattern here for the customer. Let's put it in reverse. Oh, now our speedometer is wonky. Can't have that. I gotta fix that. Oh well. I'm gonna back up here. Nonetheless, run over my dog. Let's check our brakes. Yeah, we got brakes. And we're charging. Got some rattly windows. You hear the windows rattling? Okay. Let's try first gear here. This car vibrates a lot more than mine does. Okay, letting the clutch out, letting the clutch out. Yep, I think it's going to be good. The only thing that I can see is off is this, and idle's a little high. Put the brake on. Just try to get out. Okay. It's kind of hot in there. I got to open the windows, take the top back. Okay, so we just did a quick idle adjustment. to give it a little more. That's much better. And here it's still charging. Make sure the light is off. And it is. We can actually go down a little more. Pretty funky idle screw. There we go. I think that's going to be good. Okay. Let's take it for a drive. Okay. Yeah, that idle's nice now. Okay. Our first official drive in the baby blue Isetta. Let's go. Still kind of rattly. No cars coming. Let's see what she's got. Oh, there's my dog. What a bad dog you are. He's gonna follow me. Total bad dog. Follow me in the rearview mirror. What are you doing back there, Stella? You need to get home. Oh, turning radius is terrible on this one. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Follow me home. I gotta put her away so I can go on a real road test. Okay, well, all the basic things work right. It's just different. Really different. Are you a bad dog? All right, we put the dog away. Hopefully she stays. Go for another little drive here. Second gear. Give her the beans. Rolls real nice. I think it's very rattly though. It has a terrible turning radius. What's up with that? Feels solid other than just a lot of little rattles. Brakes are okay. What was that pop? Put her in first gear. Terrible turning radius. I don't know what it is with this one. Put her down in reverse. If you get popped out of gear. Back into first. Spun the tires. First gear, second gear. Let's go to third gear. There's third gear. Wave at the neighbors. And there's Stella waiting for me. Watch out, puppy dog. Okay, back in a second. I think it's going to be okay. It's not as smooth as mine, but I'm comparing it to my own car. So idle is good. Like that. Let's get out. Brake on. Got it neutral. Oh, are you a good dog? I don't know. All right, so I think it's going to be fine. It looks really, really good. And it runs good, drives good. I'm going to check lights and then call the customer. We're going to go for a drive. I think it's going to survive. This museum quality, or ex-museum BMW Isetta is going to be ready for the road in no time. A few more little tweaks.